Hello everybody, welcome to another Generational Gaming video. I'm your host Michael. Here is part 2 of my 5-part series on my Canny Valley Endurance. That is pure AFK. Will always get you to wave 26. If you can pass 26, it'll get you to 29. And if you do 29 by killing the mist pods, you will get to 30. Where you may or may not fail depending on what weapons you have to kill the 3 mini bosses, because you will have to kill them or they will break everything. This is my amp D. You may have a different amp. If you do, just leave a comment below and I can try to see what I would build if my amp was there. It should pretty much just be almost exactly the same. Might be a little bit different, but I might be able to figure it out for you and help you out. Don't forget to like and subscribe. So let's get started. This is AMD down at the bottom right corner. This one always gets the meteors at 25. Which it always passes. Has no problem passing 25. You do not need to shoot any meteor. Even if the super giant ones fall down and break a build, won't matter. You'll be fine. You do not need to shoot them at all. The only reason it fails on 26 sometimes is because after getting hit on 25, sometimes 26, which is a random wave, will come to here again, and now you have to deal with that again. And usually by this side is pretty worn out by then. And if 26 happens to be from spawning down there from east, usually they make it through eventually. I've added some extra stuff to help with it, which we'll go through to hopefully get past 26 if it's here. But I actually haven't tried it. But I've done this for almost 2 weeks now, almost every day, testing and rebuilt, or changing things that don't work and things that do work. Keeping what works. This is my final product, really. So this was from home base, but it also helps here too in D. It's just some floors with triangles on top with walls around it. That way if anybody actually comes from around for some reason, they'd have to get through here too, so they won't bother. Here, like I said, if you ever see the triangles, it's always this. It is a half floor with a triangle facing the opposite way you want them to go. So if you want them to break through this wall to get to your home base, you want the triangle facing away from it. Not with it, because if you put the triangle down, oh, wrong one, and they were to break through, they would just walk right there and break it, not even bother. So we don't want that. So you have 3 triangles, half floors in here, walls in front, these double walls. You only really need this one, but with the bugs and all, with glitching and Hus being able to phase through, if they were to get there, you don't want them phasing over. You do need to have the walls here, here, and here, because they could just, Hus could walk right up, just walk over, and if that was the case, then what would be the point for all this? So you have the walls here. Round home base, as always, floor launchers. All around. I'll show inside there. This one's a little bit harder to show because of all the extra stuff I needed to do. But again, all bases have a giant square around them with, like I said, triangles, and you can edit. See, 2 up makes the staircase, 1 in the corner, just one of them makes that, and as always, the very top always has a floor for your base and a triangle to protect it. Now, since this is the meteor wave, this one definitely needs a lot of anti-airs to go with it. So I put 9 on the base. Gives enough protection. Now, since they're not going to be attacking from out here, there's no point in building anything really. So around it is 1 ramp. This is for ejection from the floor launchers. There are 4 launchers down here. I like calling them ejectors because that's what it does. It ejects the husks away from here. This has 2. So there's 2 there, and then there's 2 here. So that's why there's 2 ramps here. But this goes into a jail build that I have in here that I'll show. But on top, because sometimes the meteor wave will come from east. So you want 4 anti-airs up here to protect against it. You always need the walls to make sure the husks don't go flying off into the edges because of glitches. Here, you got the half floor triangles. Same as down here. Oh. We'll put a triangle. This does not need a floor. Half floor. This just needs a triangle in the walls. Because if they break through that and then fall down here, they'd have to break. They won't do it. It's too much work for them. They're not going to bother. Because it's too much pathing. To fall down, then the repath down here, up this, and back around. They'll go through here first. Because it just goes right to the base. Now, so the home base is just right here, and this is outside the home base. So after this has this here because sometimes they'll break this wall, and they'll break the floor too, and the triangle, and they'll try to start breaking this just so they can get to the base. For I don't know why, considering they could just go right in there and attack. But they do what they want. So the wall launcher's here just to send them back over. So when this is all destroyed, they'll get launched back. In here, the reason you have floors here is because of this spot right here. Husk will try to break this just to get up in here. If there's no floor to stop them, what you want is them to try to break right here. So when they break this wall launcher will send them right back inside again, and that's what you want. These walls are just for pathing issues, so they don't go that way. This is the start of the jail build. Make it easier to see. So we alternate at the corners with wall lights and sound walls. You got 2 sets of floor launchers, and then that's what these ramps are for. And you see I have the ramps here. Yes, they won't get really enough height, but if I were to change it and make it higher, then all that needs to change too. That needs to go up. But this is where they stop anyway. They go to break this one wall because that's where the wall launcher is behind. and they'll break this. They don't bother walking here. This is all they need to do. So this basically gets them either to here or here, and then they'll just get ejected again anyway, which actually gets them into the jail cell. And that's what this is. Now what we have here, this, like I said, alternating. You gotta at least alternate. This can be whatever, because there's no wall here. So we got the sound walls and the wall lights. Freeze traps, obviously. Wall launchers. Because what was happening before is they would break this, and then they would just walk around and go attack the home base. Because I didn't have anything over here. So the wall launcher is to send them back, which sends them into here. And then that gets you to fully use all your traps, because that's what you want. If you're placing them, you want them used. So, you got ejection from here from jail. And then from here, because obviously once they're in here, they go to break this because they want to get to the base. So they got floor launchers to send them back again. So, even if they break through all this, they're pretty much being stopped the whole way, the whole time. You actually didn't need to place a trap here or here. You don't need those, because if you think about it, if they break this trap, if they break that wall, these would be gone anyway. So they won't get any use at all being there. So don't place those traps there. Do not place the sound wall or the wall light. It's worthless. It won't do you any good. So in here you got, again, you want to fill it all in so husks don't go flying out by chance when they get ejected. Up top there is where the 4 anti-airs are above. I'll show that again. Right outside here, because like I said, they were breaking it and walking out. We now have mini jail cells. I was gonna put, no matter what you do, I cannot get rid of this. Every time I do this, it just keeps coming back every single time. It's so annoying. I was gonna put freeze traps here, but I don't think they're gonna attack here anymore anyway, because not only do you have the wall launcher pushing them off of it, but it's another thing they would have to break through. They may, however, though, try to break this one, come out through here, but if that happens, when I do this another time, I'll build another jail cell there. There's enough room. I guess I have enough builds. I can just build it anyway. Because this is where Wave 26 kept happening, and I would fail it if I didn't do anything, because this jail cell, this whole jailing thing gets used up a lot. To the point they would break through finally, and then you lose. What's good about having this, though, is if there is a husk here, he might make it, he'll get ejected into the jail. So that's kind of funny. You can't put anything here because of the floor, or the mound of dirt. Like here it makes sense, but I'll show you other places where it does not make sense that you can't build anything. It's like an oversight by them, and it sucks. As you see, I learned I didn't put anything here, because if they break it, it wouldn't get used anyway. So there's no point. So here we're just going to put some traps. I have a lot of wall lights, so I'm going to use that more. Okay, now we're going to stay up in here, so as you can see, just a giant box. And like I said, here's the 4 anti-airs on top. Okay, now this wall, these walls are 4. All this is 4. Because there's no way to really block it unless you really want to waste materials. Sometimes flingers will walk all the way back here, all the way around here, and come all the way over here and start flinging stuff. But they have to be here to fling. They can't fling it from back here. It's too far. So that's what these floors and walls are for, to stop them from being able to do that. And all we got in here, so you got the half floor triangle with another floor on top, because if they were to break it, they could just stand here and chuck stuff. They could stand like right here and throw things. See? So, opposite triangle from where I want them to go. You just got a wall here, because they could just do that. If they wanted to walk this way and throw, which is what they will try to do because it's open, stopped and eject it back down. Stopped, eject it back down. Stopped, eject it back down. So that's what this is for. And that's why it's there. That's to stop the flingers from coming this way and bothering to do this. Because not only can they come from there, they will also walk all the way back here, come up here, and either walk that way or walk this way and come up this way. Or even if you were to try to block them that way, they would just walk up here and drop back down. They will. I've seen them do it. That's why there's no point in bothering to build all the way out here and try to block it. Because I tried that. I tried blocking here. I tried blocking here. They just went around. And they went around this way. So what are you going to do? Block there too? Then they'll just come up here. What are you going to do here? Block all this just to stop them? It's a waste. It's easier to do this because they will have to come all the way up to here just to fling. And by then, they get ejected. And this stops the husk from trying to break backwards by breaking these, because it does them no good, because it just gets them to here, or have to deal with all this, and they're not going to bother. Next we have blocking this hole, because they will come through here. This, you just got a simple floor, wall, floor, wall, 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 floor, wall, floor, wall, wall. That's it. That's all you need. You don't need anything else. Don't put any traps. Nothing. It's not. There's no point. They will not bother. I've had this here like this. They don't even bother. I doubt you even need the rest of that back there, but you know what? Better to be safe than sorry. That's all you need. Now down here, this is where they spawn. They'll spawn right here. Right in here. This may break, I'm not sure. I know these won't. This may, but I wanted to put it here, but you can't because of the amp. Which you could... I think it's kind of dumb that once you place all the amps you're allowed, that they still stay. Because I'm never going to place an amp here again, so there's no point for this. So, I was trying to add a little bit more so there was some more... Because we need more traps here. Because this is the one that gets hit the hardest. Because it's such a short distance for them to come in and attack. Because they spawn literally right here. So you can't really build anywhere else. This is all you can do. So they got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Can't build here. 7. Can't build on this. 8. 8 things in the way of them and the amp. So it's not much to stop them. It's not. So I would love to put a wall there, but you can't. So, ice traps, like I said, because they last longer. Ice traps the whole way. This is about pathing. Don't give them a straight shot. Give them something to work with. By doing it this way, you can put a wall launchers here, here, and here to stop them from being able to just like spam run through. You probably even want to do this. Just so they can't quickly run through this. Kind of like what I did here. So they can't quickly just jut through and then not get ejected. Makes them take time. So like I said, alternating. See, wall light, sound wall, wall light, sound wall. So you do that 3. What I did was I put down this is easier. See, if you don't, what? I don't even know why that's there. That's funny. See, if you don't do this, then you don't even get to build here. All you would get to build is down here. And then they would just walk right through. You get to do almost absolutely nothing. All the way up into there. But by doing these ramps, these staircases, you're able to build a little bit. You're able to build that and then these. So you get to place 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, about like 16 to 20 traps more than you normally would to protect you with. Then if you just lay down some floors, that's all you could pretty much do. So again, it's floors. Oh, maybe that's what I did. Maybe I put a... Oh, okay. So here's the amp that I didn't use. Right with it. 2 floors. And then staircase. Walks up. 2 floors. This gets you to here, which is actually where you can start building. Alternating sound walls and wall lights. Freeze traps. Wall launchers to push them back so they gotta try again. Which is what you want to do. And in here, alternating. Instead of putting a wall launcher there, which would only eject them to here, and that wouldn't work, because it would go against being able to use this, we use a floor launcher with a staircase to make them go back. Another pathing, so they have time. They have to actually walk on here and get stunned and then ejected. Then they walk up here. You can put a trap there if you want, but these would hit them too. So I mean, considering how much this place needs all the help it can get, I'll put a trap there. And then here, the reason there's no little wall is because we got a wall launcher here as well. So basically what happens is if this misses them, this hits them, then this will hit them, and this will send them back again. You don't need a wall here. You really don't. Because they'll just walk. If they actually got stuck back here, they would just walk and fall down anyway. So we have the freeze traps. Again, sound walls, wall lights, wall launchers, pathing. And here, because you can't build here. See, sometimes you can build like weird places, but sometimes you can't. I wish there were ceiling stall traps. That would be awesome. I would put some right there. That's the jail. That's the start of the jail we looked at earlier. And then it's just these. We already looked at this. 4 floor launchers, sound walls, wall lights, ramps to push them back in. They come in here. They attack. Or if they try to attack this one or this, they get ejected back into the little jail cell. They got to deal with this. Even if they break this, they get into another jail cell. I'll just fix it now. I'll just fix it now. I've been going through and trying to find everything wrong or everything that can be taken away, and sometimes you still miss because there's just so much builds. I mean, this is just for D East. I still have to show you South. Alright, now that we did that, let's leave. This is the best way to leave. Now I show you D South. Another amp that I didn't use. Okay, so they spawn up here. Like all up in here, all the way over to here. This is here because sometimes they would feel like, let's break this wall, let's stand here and break it, or try to break this. This just gets them to repath into here. But what we have here is a giant wall. It is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 long. With basically 2 rows deep of defense. I thought I upgraded those. With half wall, half floor, triangle, half floor, triangle, half floor and triangle. This is just triangle, 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 triangle. No half floors in these. Because if they were to break through this and break through this, they'd have to go around here. And it's just too far pathing for them, so they won't bother. So it saves on some builds by doing it this way. And then we got another row of just a wall here just in case they were to break, say, this and this and this. They would only have to break that wall to get through. So then you got triangle, walls. Don't need a back wall. Triangle, walls. Now this is a ramp. See? So we do have a floor there. And walls. Because these that wall and that wall is part of those. This wall is part of this. So really it's just down here, down one, 3 walls, a triangle, and a floor. So really, I'm not sure why it works, but if they were to break here and here, they could just walk out, but they don't bother. Let's not mess with it. Again, no floor, just triangle and walls. Triangle and walls. Triangle, wall, triangle, wall. Triangle and wall. Now the very last one is a floor triangle, because there's this. So if they felt like going inside, they would either have to break the floor or break the triangle. Usually they have to break the triangle first before they can break the wall because it's in the way. So it's added protection. So let's get you let's get a decent bird eye view from back here. So you can see. Oh, that works. So it's too deep. Just like I said. It's just triangles. No floors. Except for starting here. Or not this one. My bad. This one. Starting right here. This is because it's part of the whole base. You probably could get around not having the floors in there. Considering it works here, it should work here too. And on this side, just a singular giant wall. That's all you need. That is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Jesus. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 long. That's all you need, because if they were to come around, like if they did break this, they'd have to deal with this, and I would eject them down there, and then they'd have to go through the whole thing anyway. So they won't bother. But if they decide to want to stand here and try to break this, that's what the wall launcher's for. Now here in the middle, you have the amp that you can't use. Now because of this, you can't build anything inside of it. So if you were to leave this open, it would ruin the entire build, because they would just walk straight and that's what they were doing. They would walk straight through this giant thing right to here, break this wall, and basically just go to town on the rest of it. They would break here, they would break right through this, and then basically walk right to here through these, and then that was pretty much the end of it. They just bypassed the whole thing. So what I did was, for this amp, is I got a hand floor triangle box here. This is where they would always hit. The walls that are pertaining to the amp all have wall launchers on them to push them away. So this pushes them away, that pushes them away, that pushes them away, that, except for here and here. Because if they're gonna get to here and do this, it's the faster pathing would be to break this wall, not break this, walk all the way to here and try to break that down now. So now we don't need to worry about them ever breaking this, and they don't. They do not come through this anymore. This is protected now. The only thing that stinks is if once they get here, they do get launched into it, but then it's only like 1 or 2 husks, and they're stuck in there for a long time. But what they still will do is not break these. They'll break out of the wall on the sides, which really doesn't affect the build much because no husk is going to go in here. Like you say, it's broken. Go in here and try to break this wall. They'll just walk around. It's not worth it. Like, they won't break this anymore. The worst they would do is break it to here, but they still have to go through all this. So, it stops them. Like it said, all freeze traps, half walls, or half walls. Because that's a half wall. And this is like half of a half wall. A quarter wall. So quarter wall for pathing on all ends. So they walk in, alternating. Wall lights, sound walls. Wall launcher to eject them back and make them try again. Because what you want to do is try to use up your traps in order. You want to get these all done first. Then they start working on these. You don't want them to somehow rush through it and break all these back here and then you got nothing. You want to make them take their time. So come in here, alternating wall lights and sound walls. Another wall launcher. This wall launcher is because of this. You don't want them trying to break this. So yes, it does get them to go through this a little quicker, but when they go through this, they just get ejected back anyway. So now we have fuller launchers here and here and all back in here. Oh wait, let's show it. Except for here, because there's no way for them to do it. But all in here. Because of the ramp. And I'll show how to build that ramp. But this is all for the ramp. Because they'll all get ejected back and then they gotta walk all over again. Now, the reason there's none here is because this is one of the final spots they walk through. That tornado is annoying. It's so loud. Let me see something. There we go. Okay, so the reason it's like this, because this is the final spot. This is where they would break through and drop down and attack. There's a floor launcher here with a ramp to send them back into here. Then this wall launcher to send them back here, which then sends them to this, which ejects them back. So that's what the freeze trap's for, and this. So you have a ramp, ceiling, walls on the sides so they don't phase through. And you need a wall there so they don't go flying away. And then they drop down. And then they get ejected back. And it's just a maze. Back and forth, both sides. Just like that. Okay, now to show you the ramp part of it, the back end, the top, the linchpin of it all. Yeah, with the controller so hard. Alright, here we go. So, this was that floor launcher below. It shot up, lands here. Then you get a wall launcher back to here. Then this starts the whole... See, the whole ejection, whole lobber defense. Put an anti-air up here, and then you got the anti-airs around like I showed, because you're going to get meteors like crazy. You want to be able to protect. But you got from here, 1, 2, what is it? 1, 2, 3. 3 high. Almost all these are 3 high. Is this all 3? 3 high and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 wide. We go up 1 to this side. You got 1, 2, 3. 2 wide, 3 high, just like over here. Same thing. 2 wide, 3 high. That's all you need for this. Walls to make sure that nobody phases out on top of here. And that's pretty much it. That's why the floor launchers are where they are, because they come inside with this. Let's see if I can show. See? That's what they got to deal with to get through. Is that better? There we go. So you got a plus symbol right in the middle around the amp. And then you got exactly a mirrored image on both sides of the base. Why am I... How did I miss a trap there? This game, I swear, deletes traps for me. How could I have built all these traps and then forgot one right there? Makes no sense, but whatever. Alright, well, glad we got that fixed. But that's the problem. There's all these bugs in the game and stuff, and that's what kind of makes it hard, because sometimes these bugs will ruin everything you've built, everything you've done, because something just gets messed up in the code and everything completely flies apart. Like, first wave is always home base, and I'll go to amp C and I will place down my base for AFK, because I'll tell you later in the other video, C gets hit the hardest. Husks, children husks, the kid husks, will come from home base, spawning all the way down in line with D, south of home base, or where B is like in line with the B on west of home base, will come all the way to find me at C. All the way, without even me seeing me or knowing me, even showing my face. I'll be standing there before the wave starts, and they will come and find me and kill me sitting up there. That's why when I put a base down, I always put down the flag afterwards, the banner, so I can respawn right there again. But they will find me. Now, I don't know about anybody else, but that sounds like a bug to me. Because I don't know how a husk can see you that far away to come after you and pass that far. It doesn't seem like it should be possible, but it happens. That's why you got to be worried about how you build. But one thing messed up, and they'll find a new path that they shouldn't and come and kill you. But as you can see, it's a mirror image. If you slice it right down the center, it looks the same on both sides. So if you build one side, you build the other one exactly the same way. You know, mirrored. And it'll work perfectly. It'll stop them. I save this because I like seeing this little town, this little house. But it's all you need. If you build this D will survive very long. The only issue is the jail part over here, because it's such a short distance for them to travel that your traps just get used up so fast that they start to break through. That's why I started building all these extra jail cells. I'll probably end up putting freeze traps down there too, just because. But that's it for... Let's just take another quick look, but that's it for D. So you got continuation of home base, the walls. Behind the walls you got half floors, triangles, stop them from coming this way. Booster for constructors and anybody else that can't double jump. It's better just to have this placed than say keep placing down triangles or something during the match, because you'll just be wasting them. You just got a triangle and some walls. Stop them from going that way. Triangles and half floors in here and here with a wall launcher in case they break through all this stuff and sends them back. They usually break this wall, so this is a wall launcher just to send them back inside. I was even half tempted to build this, but I haven't really seen a need for it. But I may if I still see this as having problems surviving. 2 ramps, ceiling, to go with the 2 ramps, or 3 ramps in the ceiling here for the jail cell that's inside. Some free straps, staircases, 2 floors, and then you can start building. Alternating wall lights and sound walls, stop those husks in their track. Wall launchers to send them back. Floor launcher to send them back. Wall launchers to send them back. That way you get maximum amount of usage. And then floor launchers to send them into the jail cell. And that's it for D. If there's something I missed, just leave me a comment, or if something you don't understand, just leave me a comment below. It's pretty much showed how the base entirely looks throughout this entire video. So if you just pause at everywhere I looked, you will see everything in this entire base and be able to copy it exactly. And like I said, it will get you to wave 26, no doubt. If you can pass 26, depending on where that random wave goes, you'll get to 29. And if you kill those mispods, you'll make it to 30. And then you'll have to beat the 3 mini bosses to survive. So that's it for this video. I'm going to turn sound effects back up. Let's turn it down a little. There we go. So as always, thank you for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Like I said, if you have any questions or comments, leave a comment below. Or if you have any comments, leave a comment. But as always, GG.